Good morning, random stranger. It is anime movie day again, and this time we're watching one that wasn't released too long ago in 2024 called Look Back. We're just going to jump into this completely blind. So if you've got your coffee, your snacks, and you're all set, here we go. In three, two, one, play. Ugh, durians. Just getting a little bit dizzy from that. Ooh, very nice trills on that violin. Loving this string orchestral music. It's kind of like very glassy sound. It's very fragile sort of music. What are they doing? I have to say, it's a very neat room. I love how the piano is like providing a very solid, like 4/4 common time bass, and then the strings are just doing their thing in the air. They're an artist. It kind of reminds you of Keep Your Hands Off Izokin, that kind of style. The eyes. Yeah. Clearly not in the world of reality. The love hard blood. This is amazing. Cappuccino. Oh, it's like some sort of like school newsletter or something. Mm. Oh, girl. You don't have to do that. When you're a kid, though, you got to soak in all like the praise that you can. Make yourself be as cool as possible. She's got such a big head. That's fair. Is she a mean girl? That's mean. Yeah. It's like local fame's definitely gone to her head. Oh, damn. The hyper realism. I mean, look, you could say that they're two different types of styles, right? Mm. But then, look, we get into this really interesting discussion about to what extent is art or other creative pursuits, and works, to what extent can you apply an objective standard? I think you can. Mm. I mean, she had supportive parents and relatives growing up, which is not a bad thing. Just kind of like a big fish in a small pond, I guess. This is good. Like, self improvement, even if it is driven by like rage and jealousy. Okay, so clearly this is a person who is super driven, will sacrifice everything to get better at their passion, including, a social life, it seems, and sleep. The seasons changing? Yes, they are. Yeah, I love the movement in the strings. Matches her like drive, her internal drive really well. And then all the other normies just commenting on how antisocial you are, I guess. Yes. So, but that's what you're going to deal with, right? When you're young and you've already figured out what your passion is and you just want to pour yourself into it, you'll always, always have people like that. Yeah. Thinking about our future, stability, normalcy. Her sister's like nice. It's interesting we haven't met this Kiyomoto yet. It's kind of just this presence in the art. So the other artist, it's more like visual and not so explicit, more symbolic. Yeah. No, no. I mean, I'm so torn because like this stuff is also healthy as well. You know, spending time with your friends and your family and getting out and stuff, that is healthy. I mean, I guess we all only have 24 hours in a day and so much energy. I feel like she's definitely swung too far, just given up because someone else is better than her. And not necessarily better too. Like, again, I just feel like it's just different styles. This movie is like going at a really fast pace. I do wonder, like, if Kyomoto doesn't show up at school, but the teachers still seem to kind of keep tabs on her. Just go into someone's house. So how did she graduate without attending school? Is she like sick or something? Was that her books? Did she take it out of the trash? It was just more to show that Kyomoto also works really hard. They just happen to use the same notebooks. No. Okay, I don't know. I feel like that's a mean thing to do. Yeah. Oh shit. That was amazing. I think I like her comic strips. You know, they're funny. Sensei. Oh man. She's a fan. Oh god. I bet Fujina feels really shit now. has an interesting way of speaking. Mm, really? Such a kid. And that kid is just so socially awkward as well. Mm. Oh, Fujino is so cold and cool. And Kyomoto's like the little puppy. Like, I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic. It's a lot of jumbled feelings with Fujino. Okay. I guess a huge weight has been lifted. This like nemesis of hers is actually a fan. So this is such an amazing way to show like a character's joy. Especially someone who's, quite a bit different from, quote unquote normies. That was amazing. Our friends were like, "What happened to you? I thought you got better." Oh, oh, they're collaborating. How do they let her not go to school? Oh, what does she live there now? I guess she's kind of become her assistant. Like, what do Fujino's parents think? Like, this girl who doesn't go to school just rocks up at their place, just starts drawing in her room. Is Kyomoto alive? Damn. Kyo Fujino. Oh, yes. This is crazy. They're only 13. Can you? The 100,000 yen? Oh man, okay, I see where this is going. Kyomoto's gonna leave because she's gonna get better, 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 and then I don't know, some bigger manga company's gonna want her. Oh god, just enjoy these good moments while we can. Nothing ever lasts forever. I do love that Fujino is drawing Kyomoto out of her shell, kind of just being with her as she interacts with the wider world. Like just not staying at home 24/7. That was a beautiful, beautiful chord. Mm. I thought she meant I'm glad I came out of my room the first time you came to my house. 'Cause that's where it all started. Mm. I guess like what's next, you know? The cicada humans. Man, creative partnerships like these, there's such a like they are amazingly productive, and they can make you so much more creative than you ever could have been on your own, but there's always a risk that the other person just leaves. Her arm is super long. I think that meant something symbolically. Yeah, they're just putting in all these scenes where they're not quite together anymore. Oh no, she's gonna drop the bomb on her soon. Kyomoto. It's the imminent breakup scene. Oh no. 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 No, don't be that person. It's like the hurt of being left is making Fujino say all these things when she really should be supportive of her. Oh no. You're gonna regret all that stuff you just said, Fujina. Just lashing out. Which, of all people in the world, Fujino should understand that drive to improve, right? Mm. The life of a manga artist, or I don't know, any sort of artist, but particularly manga artists, like the deadlines are harsh. Okay, she stuck it through. She survived without Kiyomoto. Man, it's blowing my mind how quickly they can work through like story plots visually, and it just works. I guess she's in her 20s by now. Oh no. Is Kiyomoto going to show up in the evening news? No. I mean, she went to art school because she was inspired by Fujino in a way. Keep your eyes on my back. She's gone. Shit. So bloody tragic. And I wouldn't be surprised if this movie was based on real life events, Whoever wrote or produced this, they put themselves and their experiences into this. Like maybe not necessarily someone who got axed, but just tragedy can strike at any moment. And it just cuts short someone's brilliant career. She's still kept up with her manga. She write something in it or draw something in it? She used it as a bookmark. Do you think she feels like weirdly guilty? Yeah, because she made her come out. Kind of set her on that path, and then she would never have like been murdered. But that's not. Uh, she found her purpose. That's Oh, are they showing like an alternate reality where she didn't ever come out of her room? Okay, no, we're going back to like her actual life, right? When she went to art school. Oh my god, are we actually gonna see this? Mm, oh my god. Run away, run away. This is her reimagining of what could have happened. Oh my god, that's brilliant. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. It's so. Let's just treat this reality as the reality, you know? This is what happened. Yep. Oh, Fujino. Just coping hard with this reimagining of events, drawing it out. Mm. Uh, just reminding us that this isn't real. It's just a drawing by Fujino. It's to help with her mental breakdown of what actually happened. It's the same spinning from the beginning. he drew that, right? Like Fujino drew that. Why is the window just open? Oh. Man, just gotta go through all 7 stages of grief. That's a levitating chip. Mm. I wonder, I'm so curious how the passing of Kyomoto, like this whole tragic event, will bleed into Fujino's future work. You know, because grief and tragedy always changes someone fundamentally, especially if it's so core to like their creative identity and output. Also, like, what about Killmont's parents? I'd probably just leave this room like that forever, for as long as I can. That's also really sad to think about. Man, she's gonna be really cold because she's not really feeling anything at the moment except pain. What language is this? Doesn't really, I mean, whatever language it is, it's just it encapsulates everything I'm feeling right now, which is just a very deep sense of sadness, but also it's not like, oh my gosh, it's such a depressing, dead end kind of movie. Like, it also celebrated creativity and how friendship, and not just friendship, but friendship on such a level that you drive each other towards your passions and your creativity, how that can be such a beautiful thing in this world, even though it can be taken away or snuffed out by the most stupidest circumstances. There's a lot that's running through my mind right now, so I'm going to try and do this in a relatively organized way. The first thing that I really want to compliment this film on that shocked me with how well they did it was the way that they were able to span years of events in like under an hour through just pure visual storytelling and music and these montages. Not once did I ever feel like the way that they passed time was abrupt or jarring or like, wait, I didn't know what was happening. They fleshed out their relationship in just seconds sometimes or even minutes. The ultimate way that they used visuals to connect the very beginning of the story to the very end was that last scene where we just get hit with a fatal dose of nostalgia because Fujino finds that 4-panel comic that she drew during like her first visit to Kyomoto's room, and she rips it up, and then that tiny corner slips under Kyomoto's room door, just like the way it happened in the beginning. And then that becomes the transition that takes us into Fujino's reimagined reality where Kyomoto is still alive. So the film literally used a piece of their past, like their shared past, to act as a bridge into a future that Fujino will never have with Kyomoto. Yeah, it was just all sorts of brilliant and genius and heartbreaking all at the same time. It was crazy. Obviously, the core of the movie is these two girls and their relationship and how they melded their lives together through their shared passion of art. And I always love stories that have two main characters who couldn't be more different. Fujino, she seemed actually quite outgoing and social and, is passionate about her art, but also thrives on the social approval that being good at it gave her. Whereas Kyomoto has none of that, so scared of people that she can't even step outside of her home, who found solace and meaning in just drawing on her own inside her room. I think there was this interesting difference in that they both create for themselves, but Fujino definitely, at least in the beginning, created art also for others for the way that they would heap praise on her. I do love that what could have turned into this whole plot point about their bitter rivalry became something more complex. Like it eschewed that path of rivalry and showed us how Fujino's, I guess, initial jealousy of Kyomoto and her talent transformed into, well, first of all, it was rage, but then it transformed into admiration and then friendship and then genuine partnership when they started collaborating on manga together. I love that their pen name was Kyo Fujino, which is like literally a fusing of their names together because their relationship became the sort of fused codependency. You know, one of them does the background, one of them does the actual characters, but it all becomes one complete work. And it wasn't just their art that became one. It was like Fujino's ambition and her vision and her drive and her social skills, I guess, combined together with Kyomoto's talent and artistic vision and her emotional depth that just created something greater than themselves. I think they had the kind of friendship that Aristotle prioritized the most, you know, and said was like the highest form of friendship, which is a kind of friendship where it's based on mutual respect and mutual growth as opposed to what the other person can give you. Fujino and Kyomoto, it wasn't just the fact that they enjoyed each other's company, but it was like they made each other into better people and also better artists. It's that kind of relationship where both people are completely transformed by the relationship itself. I think something else that Fujino and Kyomoto connected on was the fact that they're both deemed very weird by everyone else in society. Fujino's obsession with manga and Kyomoto's complete social withdrawal just made them these outsiders in different ways. I wonder if any of you guys actually relate to either Fujino or Kyomoto, because I know that personally, I do see a lot of myself in both characters. I definitely related to the part where Fujino's sister and parents, who never directly talked to her about the fact that they were worried about her, and friends, how they were all kind of in different ways pressuring her to be more normal, you know, to go outside more and maybe do more sports and maybe not be so obsessed with this one thing that you're pouring your time into. And I also relate to Kyomoto in that when I was very young, I was also a bit afraid of people. You know, I much preferred being in my own room with my books, obsessively practicing my writing and reading and just having my literature as my friends. I definitely felt a similar kind of pressure to conform, although I am thankful that I had parents who were supportive in the sense that they didn't stop me from making certain choices as I grew older and remained weird and continued to make maybe not so conventional life choices. So on that level, I am appreciative of how the movie showed us in a very nuanced and compassionate and rich way the inner lives of people who don't necessarily look the same or act the same or look at life in quite the same way as most people do. However, it was precisely because of the strength and the depth of their bond that when tragedy or when separation came, it just felt like the worst thing ever in the world times 1,000. The first thing that happened, of course, was like when Kyomoto wanted to leave the town and go to art school, which should have been a great thing. I mean, it was a great thing. She was stepping outside of her comfort zone, taking the initiative to not only improve her art skills, but also to try her hand at interacting with people more and making the effort to become an independent person. But Fujino, and I totally sympathize with her because it was a lot to take in that one moment. Fujino took it as the ultimate rejection. I think it wasn't just the fact that Kyomoto was leaving, but she, in a very short period of time, Fujino had to figure out who is she as an artist now that she will no longer have Kyomoto being there for her, being the other half of her art. On a more general note, I did also very much appreciate how Look Back explores not just like the bright, uplifting, sunny side of artistic vision and creation, it also explores the violence of artistic ambition. You know, it's not just a feel good story about two young people who chase their dreams together. It's also showing the darker sides and the punishing sides of pursuing your passion. It's the crazy deadlines, it's the social isolation, it's the way that your art and your passion, or whatever it is that you're creative pursuits are, can completely consume your identity. When the ultimate tragedy strikes, like when Kyomoto is murdered in cold blood, you also have Fujino having to grapple with survivor's guilt and also the guilt of maybe being the one responsible for setting Kyomoto on the path of her death. She underwent this sort of psychological torture where she was looking back, you know, literally the title of the show, looking back and torturing herself with all of the what ifs. Like, what if she hadn't encouraged Kyomoto to come out of her room and to interact with the world? All of these what ifs. And I think the movie did a great job of showing how grief can catapult us and make us prisoners of these alternate timelines, all of these what ifs. Like, we look back at the past with this deep, deep desire to rewrite it, but come away crushed because we can't. I do hope that at the end of the movie, even though it's not really explicit about it, that this looking back at the past that she had with Kyomoto, that Fujino did find some healing. When she ripped up that 4-panel comic that she had drawn about Kyomoto, it felt like she really was trying to rip up the past, and that little fragment that became sort of the transition towards how she would have liked their story to have gone. You could sort of interpret that as just part of the healing process. And yes, you may have to dwell on all of the what ifs, but if you can get through that, if you can look back on a shared past with someone that you've lost and come out the other end just appreciating who they were and how they impacted your life, hopefully it can add to your passion to continue to pursue your dreams even more. The nature of the tragedy that took Kyomoto's life also was a clear reference to things that have actually happened in Japan, in particular, where you have artists' life just tragically cut short by random violence. And it really felt like the writer was using this work to express the level of strength it takes to keep moving forward from something like that, to keep creating and to keep honoring the people who we have lost that made us want to make things in the first place. Yeah, the film really hit hard with like bringing home the fragility of human potential. It was really emotional when Fujino, in grieving Kyomoto, also was confronted with the difficulty of determining whether art itself had any meaning. So deep was her connection to Kyomoto, and so deep was Kyomoto's influence on how she viewed art and the joy that she took in it, that when Kyomoto was no longer around, it threatened her entire outlook on art itself. By the end, that whole scene where we kind of go back and Fujino tries to rewrite everything, it becomes this act of looking back that's just trying to make sense of this creative partnership that she had with Kyomoto that defined a huge part of how she identified as an artist, and that had just vanished in an instant. I don't even know how to finish this. Like, this movie makes me appreciate so many things that are so core to, I think, the enjoyment and the meaning of life itself. The friendships that we make and that make us, the drive to pursue your passions and the cost at which that can come at, the value of creativity and not allowing society or tragedy or senseless violence to smother that. Let me know what you guys think. I think a lot more thoughts will come to me, you know, in the middle of the night. I'm probably just gonna wake up and be like, oh my god, that was like an amazing scene that said this or that. Again, thank you so much for watching another anime movie with me, and I look forward to the next one.